Sure. So a very good morning to all the students from live and G-Drive classes. So we have till now started in IDT. First class was related to only understanding what IDT is and how we should approach it on the basis of linkage. Class number 2 was all about supply. That what is good, what is service, what is consideration. That was all about the class number 2. Class number 3, we have done in detail some concepts of import of service as well as supply. And from now, we are going to start with schedule number 1. Wait. Lakshmi, unable to. So now we are going to start with the definition of supply. We have already started, and in the definition of supply, now we are going to start with schedule number 1. Before starting anything, let me ask, what is included in the definition of good? Does immovable property included in the definition of goods? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
No. So is it only movable property?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Movable property and actionable claim, growing
Growing
crops,
crops,
and
grasses, being attached to land, forming part of land.
Very good. Very good. So he wasn't trained, but he knows. Good. Now, actionable claim, schedule number 3 actually includes only actionable claim is included in goods. Then schedule number 3 excludes something. Actually, for the purpose of taxing under GST, they wanted to include only 3 actionable claims. What were there?
Lottery,
gambling, betting, and lottery.
Very good. Then when it comes to your definition of service, in the definition of service, actually we thought ki immovable property included. But again, there was a clarification in schedule number 3, that was
sale of land and sale of building.
Sale of land, sale of building. Now, sale of land and sale of building. अब इसको थोड़ा सा elaborate करने का time आ गया, so we will elaborate that and again we will continue with the Viva. Now, tell me one thing, is it always possible that sale of land, like I have made a flat, already the flat is built. It is already built a flat. So if the flat is already built and you are selling, you can say sale of building, right? If I have a plot of land and I am selling that plot of land, I can say it is sale of land. But suppose you come to me and you say, ki ma'am, already the flat is under construction. The house is under construction. Is it already made? No. Is it already built up? No, not constructed yet. It is in the process of construction, work in progress. Now, in such a case, what you will do? Is it sale of building? I cannot say. Is it sale of land? I cannot say because it is work in progress. Now, suppose Lakshmi come to me and say, I want to purchase this. Work in progress wala hi, I want to purchase. People do that thing. They purchase. And I have to give them the possession. Now the scenario changes. Now what is the change of the scenario? If already built up building is sold, that is sale of building. If a plain plot is sold, that is sale of land. But now the thing is under construction, work in progress, I have sold to someone and now I will be building it according to their instruction. What you want, how you want. Where should be the balcony? Where should be the room? Now I will be constructing it based on them. Suppose I want to reconstruct my house. I want a reconstruction or construction of my house because I already have a plot. Now I will go to architect. Build a map for me. Is it someone is building doing the construction on the basis of my instruction? So is it sale of building? Now it is not sale of building. Now it is providing services. You are providing the services. So now services related to immovable property is what? Service. But sale of entire immovable property is schedule number 3. Getting this? entire immovable property you are selling, that is sale of land or building, as the case may be. But if I construct on the basis of their what they want, their wish, because already the that property is owned by that person, then it is service on immovable property. So you are providing service on immovable property. And ma'am, for this, again, place of supply is a chapter. In place of supply, you will find where you have done the supply. Because immovable property, suppose situated where in Agra, I am here in Pune. My immovable property will be built up in Agra. So where you are providing the service, in Pune or in Agra? So place of supply will tell what is the place where you have actually supplied the service. Are you getting? So sale of land, sale of building, in general, neither supply of goods nor supply of service. But if it is under construction and now you are constructing and giving possession, now it will be said to be service. This is not covered in schedule number 3. That is an exception you will find in schedule number 3 when we will be reading that. Understood? Now,
either commercial or residential.
Whether commercial, whether residential. Because residential property, if you give for the purpose of residential dwelling, if you give for the purpose of resident, that is different. It is you are constructing. Construction is different and giving as a rent is different. Okay. So so let us start now again with the Viva. Now tell me, consideration could be in cash.
In cash, in kind.
Cash or in kind.
Recipient also.
Or
Yes,
third party.
recipient or third party.
Third party.
It non-refundable deposit.
It shall not
Do
form
not
part of
consider
consideration
Not the part of
unless the supply will apply the money.
Lakshmi, where you are going wrong, you are going only word to word. I said directly non-refundable deposit. So you do not have to write anything. It is consideration. Are you getting?
Refundable, I'm sorry.
Okay. Now, recipient has received subsidy from central government, state government.
In case of a supplier,
supplier.
it is included in the
Recipient.
value. It is excluded from the
Recipient.
value of supply. And in case of a
Received by
recipient, it is
recipient.
included in the value of
No.
supply.
Included.
So when it is recipient is receiving, you will include in the value of supply. And if it is not recipient, then it will be
Then it is
excluded because it is
excluded.
supplier. Then tell me about person. Person to be taxable person, yes or no?
Yes,
Taxable
ma'am.
person.
Taxable
The taxable person.
Registered
Person can
person
be-
or liable to get registered.
Yes. Person can be what? It can be individual.
AOP,
Individual,
employee, company.
COTBOI,
Company,
body
corporate,
corporate, firm, LLP.
Course
Local
furtherance of business. When it comes to course furtherance of business, does course furtherance of business एक important point था that I told this is only important was commencement related something.
Supply, acquisition,
Commencement.
acquisition of goods, whether during the commencement or
Closure
Now
of
when
the
you say
business.
goods,
closure of
wait. When you say goods, goods include input
input
and
and
capital
capital
goods.
Input and capital.
both.
But again read that definition whether goods have been written or capital goods and service has been written. Read it out. What is
Goods
it?
including capital
Goods
goods
and
and services.
Goods including capital goods.
But in the definition, have they written goods or they have specifically written capital goods and service? What has been written?
Capital goods and services.
That means input is not included here. Are you getting? So you cannot write then goods. Read it again, everyone. When it comes to course furtherance of business, now what is the point related to commencement and closure of the business? Rajesh ji, quickly read.
Both are included.
Both are included. Now, Karthik.
Supply or acquisition of goods including capital assets and services in connection with commencement or closure of business.
Now, if you write only capital goods and service, would that be correct?
No, we need to include input goods.
We have to include input also. So understand one thing, where in the definition only goods have been written, that means everything is there. But if specifically because you will find in ITC, somewhere only capital goods have been written. So it is not goods, you cannot write commonly goods, that will make your answer wrong. There you have to specifically write capital goods. Understood? So focus on the words where similarly, in a definition, if supply is written, that means supply of goods also, supply of service also. But if in a definition specifically supply of service is written, then it is not supply. You cannot write simply word supply. Because if you write only supply, supply of goods and service both. But when they have written supply of service, it is only supply of service, it is not supply of goods. So you have to remember this thing, where to write the word supply and where to write supply of goods or supply of service. Are you getting? So similarly, where to write goods, where both are included. Where to write only input or only capital good, as the case may be, that you have to read and that you will find in ITC also. Okay? So, import of service for consideration. Today I am going slow because that import of service is highly important. Import of service for consideration in course furtherance of business. Is it supply, yes or no?
Yes. Whether
Yes,
said
supply.
business
Yes,
is
It is
related
not
or
covered
not.
in mega exemption.
First of all, is it supply or no? Yes, import of service done. Course furtherance of business done. And then consideration is also there. It is supply. Okay. Again, import of service, it is not course furtherance of business, but there is consideration.
Yes,
Supply.
Supply. So simple, what was there in the definition we have understood. Again, it is import of service for a consideration in course furtherance of business for the charitable purpose by charitable institute.
Mega exemption.
It is
It's
supply.
supply,
First of all,
but it
is it
is,
supply?
Yes.
Yes, it is supply,
Yes,
but not taxable supply. Why? Because it has been
Covered in
mega exempted.
mega exemption.
So supply to hai, it is supply, but it has been mega exempted. Again, import of service for a consideration not in course furtherance of business. Import of service for consideration not in course furtherance of business by an individual. Is it supply,
तो
yes
है
or
ये
no?
yes
Yes, it's
But-
a
but
No.
mega exemption
Supply.
cover हो गया
It's
But
not.
supply, but it is
Supply.
not a taxable supply, right?
Yes,
Because
yes.
it has been mega exempted. Again, import of service from a related person outside India. Import of service from a related person outside India for a consideration, not in course furtherance of business.
Not a supply.
supply
Not
है.
the
Not
You
a
are so
supply.
quick. Again, we analyze. Import of service for a consideration from related party, not in course furtherance of business. I have not mentioned it is individual. Now tell me,
supply है मैम.
supply hai? Why Lakshmi it is supply? It is supply because consideration is there. Whenever consideration is there, doesn't matter course furtherance of business or not. Then we will check if something is there in mega exemption or not. Okay. Again, import of service for not for consideration from a related person outside India, not in course furtherance of business. Import of
it should be-
service
No supply.
Not a
not for
supply.
consideration from related party, not for course furtherance of business.
No, it should be in the
Not-
course furtherance of business. If it's not,
Not
No
a
not
supply.
supply. Because a course and furtherance of business is compulsory.
Whenever there is no consideration, 101% there should be course furtherance of business. If it is not course furtherance of business, khatam. It is not at all a supply. Then do not check anything. Again, import of service from related party. I have told now. Import of service from unrelated party, not for consideration in course furtherance of business. Import of service.
Not a
done.
supply.
Not a supply.
Not
Not
a
a
supply,
supply.
because compulsory when you are importing, That should be, if not for consideration, that should be from related party or any establishment outside India.
Or
Establishment.
this establishment outside India.
Own establishment outside
Own
India.
establishment.
Now are you getting the probabilities that import of service? Comfortable with that now? So that was all related to your import of service. Now we are moving to the schedule number 1. When it comes to schedule number 1, it is nothing but if no consideration, whenever, already yesterday I have told, whenever there is no consideration, always what will pop up in your mind? Schedule 1, schedule 1, schedule 1, schedule 1. Once you find there is no consideration, always check schedule number 1. Once you find no consideration, always check schedule number 1. Understood? Chalo. So moving to the schedule number 1 now. Now again in schedule number 1, what you will find? When it comes to schedule number 1, you will find that, see, point number 4, this, it is about service. Okay. Point number only 4, it is about service. When it is 1, when it is 3, it is about only goods. Remember I told na, do not write blindly supply. If it is supply of goods, only supply of goods you have to write. But if in place of supply of goods, you write simply this, supply, your answer will be wrong because you have included supply of goods as well as supply of service. Here also, this is not actually point, this is para number, but telling you that first wala para. Here also it is only about goods, it is not about service. That means only this point number 2 that we call para number 2, it is having C, supply of goods or service. So in schedule number 1, first wala point we will understand. The first wala point is permanent transfer or disposal. Remember I told you that disposal wala word ka meaning you will understand in schedule number 1 when I was explaining you supply ki definition. So permanent transfer, disposal of business asset, permanent transfer, disposal of business asset where input credit has been availed on such asset. Where input credit has been availed on such asset. Now I have to break these points. First, there is what? Permanent transfer. Okay. Permanent transfer or disposal only of business asset. Where on that business asset you have claimed ITC. And this word, such, is very important. So simply, if not going into detail, if I transfer permanently a business asset, in that case, if I have taken ITC, in that case, it is even without consideration deemed as a supply. कुछ भी नहीं, simple अगर मैं जाऊँ अभी कुछ analysis नहीं कर रहे, not going into the analysis. Again, point number 1, permanently transferring something. Ma'am, what is disposal? Now this laptop is of no use to me. It is not working properly. I have just disposed it. Or this mouse is not working properly. I have disposed it. Disposal is you are just retiring that asset from the use. But this asset should be my business asset. If my business asset permanently I am transferring or permanently I am disposing, even disposal is also a supply. Are dustbin means if I am throwing something, that is disposal. That disposal is also a supply. First of all, they have included every kind of supply. Are you getting? To avoid the loopholes. So this disposal, this permanent transfer of business asset, if ITC have been availed, in such a case, if it is without consideration also supply. अब I guess कि reading of the sentence we have done many times. अभी इतना तो पढ़ लिया. अब अपन आते हैं किस पे? Going to the analysis section. Now when it comes to suppose I have this asset. I am having this asset and this is nothing but my raw material. Okay, I am having an asset. This is my raw material, and obviously you will know raw material is your business asset, right? Raw material is nothing but your business asset. Now what I did, this raw material has been converted into what? This raw material has been converted into now finished goods. Now this is nothing, this is my finished goods. So this is raw material getting converted into finished goods. Now let's say this finished good is nothing, but this finished good is, suppose, shirt. This was cloth. Now this has been converted into a shirt. Okay. Now what I find ki this is the birthday. ठीक है, मेरा कोई relative है, birthday of a relative, and I said कि okay, it is birthday. So मैंने क्या किया? I have transferred, permanently transfer करोगे ना gift, you will not want return. So permanently transferred this business asset to either a related party or an unrelated party. That doesn't matter right now. It is to anyone you are permanently transferring a business asset. And I have taken ITC. I have taken what? ITC. And where I have taken ITC? On this asset. When I have purchased raw material, on purchase of raw material, I have got availed ITC. You understand the at least meaning of input tax credit? You understand? So already मैंने क्या किया? When I have purchased raw material, I have taken ITC. चलो ये भी ठीक है. Now when I am permanently transferring this shirt to this person, first question, is it supply? According to whatever we have read, is it supply?
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone, from everyone I should listen at least yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Done, Jaya done. Yeah, Saladi. Say yes or no. Rajesh ji, quickly. Karthik.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, it's supply. Ma'am.
Very good. Saladi. Supply. Very good. Very good. No, it is not a supply. Not a supply. Why? I was saying you again and again that time also that this is important. ITC should be availed on such asset. Now here in my example, ITC I am claiming here on raw material. But what I am transferring, permanent transfer is not of raw material. Permanent transfer is of finished goods. So it is not a supply. Are you getting? So on such asset, on such is an important word, on such asset ITC should be availed, and if I transfer this asset to this person, then it is supply if without consideration. Understood? So what was the first important point in permanent transfer wala point? Such asset. As it is such asset pe ITC should be claimed, and that such asset should be transferred. No customization, no modification. Understood first point. Now second. Now this is the concept that is permanent transfer. Ma'am, what if I just give on rent? Ki you can utilize my laptop for 1 month. Is it a permanent transfer? That means, again taking the example number 2, I have bought a laptop. Okay. This is my laptop. I am transferring my laptop to this person for 1 month. Okay. And there is no consideration. And this laptop is used for business purpose. Yes, I am using it for business purpose. Now for 1 month only, I have transferred that to that person without any consideration. Now, is it a supply?
Not a supply. No, it's a supply.
So it is a supply. One person, yes, it is a supply. Second,
मैम वैसे तो सप्लाई है नहीं, अगर हमने इसको रेंट पे दिया है तो फिर ये सप्लाई ऑफ सर्विस हो सकता है.
Ma'am, whether ITC has been availed?
think of the definition. As per
definition, first we are studying that rental
Ma'am, it is not a
supply.
that says it is not a supply.
Yes, ma'am. But we should refer schedule 1 in case if it is not for consideration. Till now, that's what we have seen.
So, as per you, yes or no? It is supply, yes or no?
Not a supply.
Not a supply. Quickly, Sachin.
Not
Saladi.
a supply, ma'am.
Not a supply. Saladi, quickly type. Rajesh ji.
Not a supply.
Not a supply. Jaya.
it is not a permanent transfer or disposal. So it is not a supply.
Not a supply. So basically, this answer is correct. It is not a supply. Remember, सबसे पहले definition of supply पे फिर से जाते हैं. Definition of supply, goods should be there. Laptop is a good. Okay. And goods include capital goods also, and it includes input also. Goods should be supplied for consideration. First of all, consideration gone. There is no consideration. So whenever there is no consideration, without thinking for a second, what will pop up? Schedule number 1. My schedule number 1 says permanent transfer. Wahi out ho gaya ye to. It is temporary transfer. So temporary transfer, even on that ITC have been claimed. It is not a supply because schedule 1 says it is not a deemed supply. Understood? So always stick to the word. If it is consideration, we will not worry about anything. Whether it is permanent, whether it is temporary, because there is consideration. Only when the doors of consideration are closed, schedule 1 will open and you have to check particularly word to word about the schedule number 1. Understood? So if it is temporary transfer, no. If it is ITC have been availed, but not on such a set. In such a case also, it is not supply. Example number 3. Again, this is laptop. Again, my laptop. Okay, I am giving this laptop to a person, and that is permanent. Okay, this is a permanent transfer. ITC blocked. Due to any reason, the ITC have been blocked on such asset. However, it is a permanent transfer, and there is no consideration. Tell me.
Not a supply.
Bolo. It is permanent transfer, okay. Consideration, no. ITC blocked.
Not a supply since ITC is not available.
Yes or no? Supply, yes or no? Quickly.
No, not a supply.
No, ma'am. No supply.
So basically, you have to claim ITC. Saladi, correct. You have to claim ITC. If ITC is blocked, if ITC not available, if your ITC have been cancelled, we will not allow you the credit. In any case, if no ITC have been taken, even it is permanent transfer, same asset have been transferred, it is not a supply. Understanding कि ITC should be availed. If blocked, if cancelled, if not available, whatever the case is, no. Now, example number 3. Now this is me, this is my business. My business has been transferred to this person, that is A. Okay. Previously it was my business. Business has been transferred to this person. The assets that I was having, on this asset, ITC was availed. I have availed all the ITC on this asset. Now this person, out of this business asset, one of the asset, this is one of the asset. Now he permanently transferred the asset and there is no consideration. Tell me.
First, Mr. A has not utilized the ITC for that particular asset for which he has supplied to another person.
According to you, as Mr. A has not availed the ITC,
Yes.
even he does the permanent transfer without consideration, so it will not be a supply, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone has same logic.
No, madam.
Yes.
I feel it should be a supply because the word such asset is mentioned.
No,
So, sorry.
don't feel.
No,
What?
no, I said not a supply. The reason because it is mentioned as such asset. So such asset could be with this current owner or it could be previous owner. That is my thought process.
So according to you, it is supply, yes or no?
No, no, it's not. Sorry, it is a supply. Sorry, it is a supply.
And what about Sachin, Jaya? Quickly, don't wait for me. Quickly answer yes or no.
Not a supply, ma'am.
Not a supply. Reason?
For the same reason, because ITC was availed by the person who is not transferring.
So if you are thinking ITC availed by other person, again read that definition, again read that paragraph. Have they even mentioned that same person should have availed ITC? They have not said that same person should have availed ITC and same person should have permanently transferred it. Where they have mentioned? So it is the asset should be same and on that asset ITC should have been availed. Asset should be same and on that asset ITC should have been availed. Now whether me transferring it for a permanent purpose or other person to whom I have given it, whether he is under succession, I have said business ka succession. I don't say that I have sold the asset. It is succession of the business and succession of the business. If that person, my brother, he is permanently transferring the thing, still it is supply. Understood? Done. Now I will take the example of sales. This was business ka succession. Similarly, suppose I have again this mouse. I am having this. I have sold it to Sachin. Now when I am selling it to Sachin, Sachin will pay GST because it is purchased for Sachin. Now if he has utilized ITC on this same asset, now whenever he will permanently transfer, so he has utilized ITC on such asset. Are you getting? When I sold it to Sachin, I have charged consideration. So consideration to वैसे ही supply था. Are you getting? When I was giving him for consideration, कि ये लो and give me some money. He has given me money. He has given me consideration. Remember, supply section 7 clause A. There should be a good. There should be consideration in course furtherance of business for general nature supply था. Now when it is Sachin is transferring it for permanent purpose, it is also supply, but deemed a supply if it was without consideration. Are you getting the logic of this definition, the linkage it is flowing in? This is me. Okay. I have sold this mouse to Sachin. Okay. This is Sachin. I charge suppose 700 rupees from him. So this is my business asset. That means I was having a good, right? Good is there. Business asset, as I am saying, so course furtherance of business, I have transferred this asset to him. I have also taken consideration. I am also a taxable person. Every element is getting fulfilled. So generally, section 7, clause A will say it is a supply. So the general supply. Now Sachin, I have given to Sachin this invoice. 700 plus GST, 18%. Just an example, 18% GST. Now, has Sachin paid GST on this mouse? Yes. Is this purchase for Sachin? Yes, it is purchase for Sachin. Now, Sachin will utilize ITC on this purchase. Understood? Sachin will utilize ITC. Now, same mouse he is given to, let's say, a related party or unrelated party, any person. He has given same mouse to related, unrelated party. No consideration. It is a permanent transfer. Now, think of only Sachin. It is deemed supply. But in my case, it was general wala supply. It is generally a supply. So in case number 1, it is general supply as per clause A. But here it is due to schedule number 1, it is deemed to be supply because ITC availed on such asset, it has been permanently transferred and there is no consideration. Now understood? So basically, whenever you are going into the definition of supply, go into the depth. If you can understand this definition of supply, then you can understand ITC very well. So understand what is deemed. So you have to write it is deemed to be supply as per schedule number 1. Do not directly write it is a supply. Wrong. Mention because it was falling in schedule number 1. That's why it is supply. Done. So now what are the pointers coming? It should be permanent transfer. Yes. If temporary transfer outside the preview of GST, if without consideration. Ma'am, if I have given for 1 month, this mouse I have given for 1 month for consideration. Are bhul jao schedule 1. Then whether it is temporary transfer or whether it is permanent transfer. If for consideration, wo to clause A ke according supply. Understanding? Now, it was permanent transfer, tick. Disposal also, tick. Because permanently you are discarding that asset. ITC even blocked. So I am not availing ITC. It is not supply. Okay? 4th, it should be such asset. Same asset pe ITC should be availed. Understood? This is the complete logic of that definition. Is it required to transfer to a particular person? No, not required. Even if it is related party or if it is unrelated party, transfer should be there without consideration and that should be permanent transfer, ITC on such asset compulsory. Done? Now we will write it. Chalo. Give the heading, schedule number 1. And first of all, write this entire sentence. That is para number 1. Permanent transfer of all these things. Let me frame one more example. Wait. Now, tell me this. First of all, tell me, then we will write. I have purchased a laptop. Okay. I have purchased a laptop from an unregistered person. I am a laptop dealer. Okay, I am a laptop dealer. Why I am saying this? I am a laptop dealer to make you understand what is my business asset. So I am a laptop dealer. I have purchased from an unregistered person a laptop, and this laptop has been gifted to my brother. Is it a supply? Think wisely.
It is not a supply since it is purchased from an unregistered person. So you might not have claimed ITC over it.
When you purchase from an unregistered person, see, I have purchased from unregistered person, and unregistered person cannot charge GST from me. He cannot collect GST. When I have not paid GST on purchase, have I paid GST? No. So when you have not purchased GST, how can you claim ITC on that? Can you claim ITC? You cannot claim ITC. So when you purchase from unregistered person, the essence is gone, ITC not available. So even if you gift, even if you permanently transfer that asset, it is not a supply. And why gifted? Obviously, gift is without consideration. Done? Chalo. Now write. First of all, write that entire sentence, paragraph 1. Shall I start dictating? Now write only word permanent transfer. We have to elaborate permanent transfer. After writing that paragraph, now write only permanent transfer. To get covered in schedule 1, permanent transfer needed. Next line में write, if temporary transfer without consideration, of same business asset, even ITC availed, not considered as supply. Done? Then in next line, like same is for disposal. Then write word business asset. Business asset could be raw material. That is input or capital goods. Then next line we write, that means permanent transfer of personal asset outside the preview of schedule 1. Done? Then third, ITC availed. Only write ITC availed, then we will write about it. ITC availed. If ITC is blocked, or purchase is made from, if ITC is blocked or purchase is made from unregistered person, or if it is exempt nature purchase, so already it is exempted, you would have not paid any GST over there, or if it is exempt nature purchase or nil rated purchase, that means no ITC available. That means no ITC available. Okay, then such asset. Write only such asset. The asset on which ITC availed, the asset on which ITC availed, and the asset that has been permanently transferred should be same. Should be same. That means no modification, no customization. Write example. Raw material, on raw material, ITC availed, and finished goods is transferred, and finished goods is permanently transferred. It is not supply as per schedule 1. It is not supply as per schedule 1. Now, last line, common line. Permanent transfer could be to any person, whether related, unrelated. Permanent transfer could be to any person, whether related or unrelated. Done? Sure. Right now, I am focusing. This we have done. This we have done. Sure. इसी को ही ले ही लेते हैं. First of all, I am focusing on this third wala because it is comparatively chota as compared to this. Again, it is specific for supply of goods. Supply of goods. That is it. If you supply goods, who are you? By principal to agent. If a principal supplies goods to the agent, where the agent undertakes to supply such goods on behalf of principal, where this agent supplies goods on behalf of principal. You are the agent, principal is providing you the goods and you supply the goods on behalf of that principal. Or if it is given by agent to principal, that is the agent is giving to principal the goods, principal is giving agent the goods, that is it. They are giving goods to each other. Obviously, If I am your principal and you are my agent, we do not need a consideration right now. If we are transferring stock transfer without consideration, but that is supply. What is the logic behind this and who is the agent here? Supply of goods by a principal to his agent or supply by an agent to his principal. That is what, if without consideration, that is what, nothing, that is your supply. But here we have to understand who is the agent. Agent kaun? Is it normal agent? As we understand ki this is the normal agent? No. Now agent is who can make invoices. You have allowed that person on behalf of you, he can make invoice in his name. खुद के नाम पे invoice generate करके he can do the sales. For me, suppose X is a agent. I allow him, you can make a invoice in his name. खुद के नाम पे invoice बना सकते हो और sell कर दो. So now he is my agent. But if I do not allow that person to generate invoice, if I do not allow him कि तुम अपने नाम पे on your own name, you cannot generate the invoices. Only मेरा नाम ही होना चाहिए. It should be only me. Then you are not my agent. Understand? Agent principle is what? If he is agent, some of the risk is also transferred to him. I am allowing you can generate invoice in your own name and you can save. That means you are my agent, you are representing me. But if I do not allow you that, you are not an agent as per paragraph number 3. Understood? As per paragraph number 3, you are not my agent. Now read that sentence properly, then we will dive into the details. दोनों पढ़ ले, permanent वाला भी and do this also. Done reading? Now see. The relation is only between principal and agent. Done. But this agent should be whom? The agent who has been allowed to make invoice in his name. If the agent can issue invoice in his name, then only he is my agent. Okay. So first of all, when there is supply of goods, whether from principal to agent or there is from agent to principal, goods are supplied from principal to agent or agent to principal, this paragraph 3 will be applicable. Ma'am, what about service? Suppose agent provides service to principal without consideration. Without consideration, agent is providing services to the principal. Would you say it is supply or it is not a supply?
Not a supply. If it is with consideration, it will be supply. Otherwise, not.
Twisting it. Principal is in, let's say Dubai. Principal in Dubai and agent here. Principal is providing service to agent. Principal is providing service to agent without consideration. Now is it supply? Yes or no? Are you getting what I'm mixing now?
If it is import of service.
If not, if कहाँ हुआ यहाँ? It is import of service ना?
No, it is import of service. If it is for business purpose only, then it is
Principal agent is the relation. So obviously it would be for business purpose.
business purpose.
Now, first of all, let me check whether agent principal का ये जो relation है, is it a related party का relation? Do not blindly say कि yes, it is a supply because import of service में you find कि it should be business purpose. Where there it has been written if it is import of service without consideration, it should be related person. Now, is it a related person? Where I will find, I have to check the definition. So every time minutely see, that is the reason supply pe I am giving so much of time. Minutely check. You are saying that principal is providing service, or suppose agent is there and principal is here, he is providing the service. It is important, it is for course furtherance of business, but does my relationship of agent principal is a related party ka relationship that you have to check. So you cannot say just ki if it is a service, always consideration is needed. I will say if it is a domestic supply, domestic, then consideration needed. If it is import of service, consideration is not needed, but related party ka relationship is needed. Understood? Write down this thing. First of all, you should write that point. Supply of goods by agent to principal or principal to agent. And try to make this concept copy or this analysis copy very neat and clean. Because this is what we have, every word we have understood in class, that is your copy will speak about. So later on after the class, it is going to be very helpful for you. To make it neat and clean, not like roughly. Lakshmi has maintained very good copy. As you said in the PDF, I have seen it is very good.
Thank you.
Chalo. So, have you written that entire paragraph?
मैंने शेयर कर देना
Huh?
शेयर कर देना
Share kar. No. Do it on your own. Chalo. So, paragraph 3 includes only supply of goods. Paragraph 3 includes only supply of goods. Second point. When it comes to supply of service, I'm writing here, copy of this. Written? Now second point. Who is the agent? Next point. Paragraph 3. Paragraph 3 includes only that agent who has been allowed to issue invoice, who has been allowed to issue invoice in his name. If not allowed, in such a case, the person is not agent. If not allowed, in such a case, person is not agent as per para 3. Now there is type of agent also. There is again a type of agent now that we call as del creditor agent. एक normal agent होता है. Then again there is an agent that is called as del creditor agent. Write the heading del creditor agent. Now, this is del creditor agent, del creditor agent. This is principal and this is customer. What do you mean by del creditor agent? Del creditor agent का मतलब क्या होता है? When I talk about del creditor agent, so del creditor agent is nothing but he is one who takes the responsibility. If that customer is not paying you the amount, I will be paying it. He is taking the responsibility, he is taking the risk that if customer doesn't pay you the amount for your goods, he will be making the payment for the goods. Okay, that is del creditor. Abhi do not write it. Now, when it comes to your del creditor agent, this is my A is my del creditor agent. This is my principal and this is the customer. Suppose it happens. What happens? Now customer says, I am unable to make the payment. अब ये customer payment नहीं कर रहा है, he is unable to make the payment. Now what del creditor agent would have to do? He has to make the payment. अब वो payment कैसे करेगा? He is not directly going to pay to the principal. He has two options. कितने option है? He is having two options. Option number 1. This del creditor agent will give money to whom? Customer. कि I am giving you the loan. You are unable to pay. I am giving you what? I am giving you the loan. He will provide him loan. And when he is providing him loan, obviously what he will charge? Interest. एक मिनट मैम, transaction in money. This is transaction in money. Remember? But for this transaction in money, what is charged? Interest is charged. So this is service, right? This is what service, if anything, charged for the purpose of money, that is service we have done. So this del creditor agent is providing what? This del creditor agent is providing him the service. You are unable to pay, I am giving you the loan. Transaction in money, not liable to GST because neither good nor service, but he is charging for that money something, and this is liable to GST because it is considered to be service. इतना याद आया from the definition? Okay, so can I say कि this del creditor agent is supplying service also. One service to whom? Customer. Another service to principal, because he is getting the customers also, na? So one service is getting the customers, that is provided to principal, but another service is related to this loan. This is provided to customer. Getting? Nice, Aladi. No morning time. Understood this? Chalo. Now, this is option number 1. Option number 2. Either this del creditor agent could directly give the money to principal and he will recover this from customer. There are 2 options. Either directly pay to the principal and recover from the customer, or give loan to the customer and recover it from the customer. In both the cases, what he will do? Not free. With interest he will recover, and if he is giving loan, again it would be with interest. Itna samajh mein aaya everyone? Ma'am, problem kya hai? Now understand. Talking about this del creditor agent. If I talk about this del creditor agent, the question is, when this del creditor agent is giving loan to customer, it is a service he is giving, and the principal is selling goods to customer. Principal is selling goods to customer. Whether I should create single invoice, should I create a single invoice for the service and goods, or there should be separate invoices? There should be what? Separate invoices. That is, for goods separate invoice and service cost invoice should be separate. Why? Because there are 2 separate supplies. One supply is related to loan and another supply is related to good. What should I do? Are you understanding the problem here? Whether it should be a common invoice or it should be a separate invoice. Have you understood the meaning of del creditor? Are you understanding the problem? Now, again, diving into paragraph number 3. Who is the agent? Is del creditor agent allowed to make invoice in his name? When I'm saying his name is principal ke naam pe, khud ke naam pe, he can make invoices. Is he allowed to make invoices? If yes, he's my agent, then I can create a single invoice because it is nothing, one supply. But do not dive into ma'am, ek goods ek service. There is a concept of composite and bundle nature ka supply also. Right now we are not going into that. But yes, this is one supply, you can say this is single invoice. But when this del creditor agent is not allowed to make invoices in his name. He is not my agent. Ma'am, if he is not my agent, schedule number 1 does not cover him. When he does not cover him, then loan wala, service wala supply wo separately apna rakhega. It will be counted separately for him. And principal will count only the turnover of goods. Are you getting? So again, del creditor has to be the agent as per paragraph number 3. If it is agent as per paragraph number 3, yes, he is agent as per paragraph number 3, common invoice done. Because already he is just an agent. He is giving on behalf of principal. On behalf of principal. But if it is not agent, separate invoices are required. Understood? Now, that goods wala part is a deemed supply. That goods wala part is a deemed supply, but this service is not deemed supply. This is generally a supply. Are you getting? Because for service already consideration is there. It is not due to schedule number 1, but agent principal wala nature could be due to schedule number 1. Understood? That is del creditor agent. For you today, what you have to do from study material, you have to read permanent nature wala analysis. You will find in study material, analysis corner will start. Directly jump into the analysis corner and you have to read this para number 1 ka analysis as well as para number 3 and 4 ka analysis. Now you can do. Okay. So most probably I would like you to start timer. I am not giving you the timer. I want to check how much time you will spend in reading and understanding that topic. So वाइजली जितना टाइम लगता है लगाना, लेकिन नाउ स्टार्ट वॉचिंग कि तुम्हें कितना टाइम लगता है एक्चुअली, हाउ मच टाइम एक्चुअली. तो टाइमर स्टार्ट करना है, स्टार्ट रीडिंग and then report me the timer so we can improve on the basis of that benchmark. Okay, done. So this was para 1 done, para 3 done, para 4 done, para 2 will take time, so that's why I have stopped it. So tomorrow it will be para 3 and your schedule number 3. Okay, any doubt? Salani, why you are not having any doubt? No doubts in concept में you are not having any doubt, why?
मैम जो सिंगल इनवॉइस बनेगा डेवलपर एजेंट के केस में, तो उसमें जो गुड्स का रेट होगा और सर्विस का रेट होगा, अगर वो अलग अलग
अभी नहीं जाओ, क्योंकि कंपोजिट नेचर का सप्लाई कुछ होता है, वो हमें आगे समझना है. मिक्स नेचर का सप्लाई भी कुछ होता है, वो भी समझना है. तो ये अब कंपोजिट सप्लाई है या मिक्स सप्लाई, वो तब समझा पाऊंगी जब मैं आगे चल के तुम्हें टाइप्स ऑफ सप्लाई समझाऊंगी. ठीक है, उसके लिए अभी हम उस पर नहीं जाते.
ओके.
हाँ सलादी, नो डाउट्स. ही इज जस्ट स्माइलिंग. लक्ष्मी, राजेश जी, नो डाउट्स. कार्तिक, जया, नो डाउट. ठीक है, तो वी विल कनेक्ट एट 8 for DT and already the link have been shared yesterday only. Check it out. Okay.
मैम पीडीएफ शेयर कर देंगे.
फिर भी शेयर नहीं, I have already pointed you. This is the link DT का morning में. Check it out.
नहीं पीडीएफ कह रहा हूँ मैं.
PDF. हाँ, इसका आज कौन सा PDF है?
एजेंट वाला.
अच्छा ये, ओके, सप्लाई वाला माइंड मैप यू आर टॉकिंग. ओके, ठीक है. Drive link I will share on Drive. All the mind maps have already been uploaded. Now give me time after the DT. I will be doing that. ठीक है.
ओके.
Okay.